former president of the Royal College of Psychiatrists, and Professor Peter Garrard, honorary consultant neurologist at St George's University Hospitals, for their invaluable help and advice and for making complicated medical terms comprehensible to a layman. I was fortunate in being given several masterclasses by experts in their specialist areas, and I would like to thank John Lee for elucidating the grand strategy of the American War of Independence, Liam Fitzgerald for showing me the King's Grand Medal case at the British Museum, Lord Mervyn King for explaining the concept of William Pitt the Younger's sinking fund, Hugh Johnson and Paul Symington for their views on Pitt's port drinking, Hugo Vickers for his knowledge of orders and decorations, Jeremy Solel for his work on battle statistics and analysing the King's working day, Flora Fraser for her thoughts on the relations between the King and Caroline, Princess of Wales, and Mark Herman of Studio Low Designs for information about what happens when the Revolutionary War is wargamed at tournament level. I would like to thank Brooks's Club for permission to quote from their splendid betting book. My own objectivity in recounting the great Fox-Pitt struggle can be judged from the fact that I am a member of both the Fox Club at Brooks's and the University Pitt Club at Cambridge. Rebecca Salter, President of the Royal Academy, and Mark Pomeroy, its archivist, for allowing me to research the royal books that founded it. The staff at the London Library, the National Archives, the British Library, especially Adrian Edwards, who gave me a private tour of George III's library, and Kew Palace, and Lorenzo Lunesi, and Oliver Walton for checking my reference notes so expertly. Several friends in Britain and America have read the book in pre-proof form, and I would very much like to thank James Barry III, whose idea this book was, Andrew Beaumont, Michael Bishop, Jeremy Black, Richard Cohen, Paul Felton, Augusta Harris, Luke Leyburn, John Lee, Jerry Del Lemisier, Richard K. Munro, Eric Peterson, Scott Seifert, and Oliver Walton for all their tremendous help and advice. Throughout the research and writing of this book, I have been fortunate enough to be the Roger and Martha Mertz Visiting Fellow at the Hoover Institution at Stanford University, and I would like to thank Roger and Martha for their great friendship and generosity. At my publishers, Stuart Profit, Brian Tart, Gretchen Schmidt, Richard Duguid, Peter James, Alice Skinner Penvogler, Anya Gordon, and Stephen Ryan have been a delight to work with as ever. Cecilia Mackay was a brilliant picture editor, and Georgina Capel is generally recognised as the best literary agent in the British Commonwealth of Nations. This book is dedicated to the royal biographer Robert Hardman, my close friend of 30 years and the best person to ask for the plural of Earl Marshal. It's Earl Marshals. Although the research for this book was finished before coronavirus hit, the writing of it took place during the pandemic. So I would like to thank my son Henry for the nightly rum punches, my daughter Cassia for her sweet good nature and humour, and above all my wife, Susan Gilchrist, for all her wonderful love and support while sharing the lockdowns and self-isolations with me. As Charlotte was to George in chapter 26, she is the queen of my heart. Andrew Roberts, London, May 2021. Author's Note. Contemporary references to the Premier, First Minister, Chief Minister, or Prime Minister in George III's reign referred to the First Lord of the Treasury, except in the case of the Chatham administration. I used the term Prime Minister even though it was not used officially until Benjamin Disraeli signed the Treaty of Berlin in 1878. Some place names, such as Charlestown, South Carolina, have been updated as well. The Julian calendar prevailed in Britain until 1751. I have given all dates according to the modern, Gregorian calendar. When a word has a meaning today significantly different from the one current in the 18th century, I have given in a footnote the definition from the 1778 edition of Samuel Johnson's Dictionary of the English Language that most closely approximates to what I think the writer meant. The modern equivalents of 18th century monetary values vary wildly.